All of you to go through this window, the slide. 5 minutes. I would just wanted to go through this slide. After this, I'll ask you certain questions, and then we can move to the different types of contract today.
Ma'am,
Yes, ma'am.
are you sharing the screen, ma'am?
Yeah, I'm sharing the screen, ma'am.
No, because I'm not able to see, ma'am.
Is this visible?
No, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. It just came and went, ma'am.
Okay, just one minute. Okay, is this visible now?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
This is Indian Contract Act 1872. Just go through this once again. Specifically, it should be clear with what is an agreement, what is a contract, and what is a promise. Based on this only, all the future is units that is we will be covering up. An agreement which is enforceable by law is a contract. So contract is equal to it has to be an agreement plus there should be some legal obligation. Now, Section 2C defines what is an agreement as every promise and every each other set of promises forming the consideration for each other. So, in an agreement, there is an important element which is an promise and a consideration. What is a promise? A promise is defined as a proposal when accepted. It need not be that there is a consideration or it would be lawful, might be there are no legal obligations as such. So a promise is only a proposal and acceptance. So which can say offer and an acceptance. That is a promise. An agreement is every promise or every other set of promises forming there should be something in consideration. So we can say an agreement is equal to promise plus a consideration. And what is a contract? Contract is equal to an agreement plus there should be something which is having a legal obligation. Now, what is a legal obligation is it is enforceable by law while doing the or while performing the activities. So, thus, to become a contract, an agreement must have an accompanying legal obligation, that is, it must be enforceable by law. Only then legal action can be taken. Now, how is a contract distinguished from an agreement? An agreement consists only of an offer and acceptance. An acceptance, whereas a contract is composed of an agreement and there should be some legal enforceability. What is the essence of a legal? Essence of a legal relationship? An agreement may not create a legal relationship, whereas a contract does have to create a legal relationship. A scope, every agreement does not give rise to a contract, but every contract is a kind of an agreement. And lastly, enforceability by law. A contract is legally enforceable, whereas an agreement is not necessarily so. Then we move to what are the essential elements of a valid contract. A very, very, very important question. Essential elements of a valid contract. Firstly, there should be a valid offer and an acceptance. There should be an intention to create legal relationship. It should not be that there should be some activity which is carried on which is unlawful or which is not legal. There should be a consideration. Consideration is when I offer something, there should be something in return that I get. So there should be a lawful consideration. Capacity of the parties, it should not be with a person who is of an unsound mind or a minor. The capacity of the parties to the contract, the offer and acceptance should be to a person who is a mind, who is not a, who is in the age above the, as per the law, who is able to enter into a contract or an agreement. Like I said, a contract with a minor or a person of unsound mind, all these are not a valid contract. Free consent, both of them should agree the offer should be given and accepted free of any force. That is, there should not be threatened, there should not be any coercion, or there should not be any reciprocal promise. Like if I do this, then you should be able to do this. So there should be free consent from both the parties. Legality of the object should be genuine. It should not be to carry on anything which is unlawful. You should activities which you carry on in the contract or which is mentioned in the contract should be legal. Terms of the agreement must be certain. So when I say it is certain, it should be something which is doable and which can be enforced. It should not be something which I cannot measure or which I cannot do. Then in that case, it cannot become a contract at all. Must be certain at the point of I doing the I entering into agreement or a contract, or I when the action is taken. For example, I uh, or place an order for a goods from some other state. Until the action or until I receive the goods, it must be certain. If it is lost in transit, etc., then the contract becomes void. So the action should be completed till I receive the goods. So the terms of the agreement must be certain. When is it that I'm going to receive the goods? All the terms and conditions should be mentioned in the agreement. An agreement not declared void, which means it should be the capacity of the persons to carry on the activities. Like it should not be something which I cannot perform. Inside? Oh, stuck you said. Thank you, ma'am. For instance, the age of marriage, it should not be above. There is a law which is made, so we should not overcome or we should not break these laws and perform certain activities. Then it becomes void because it is not lawful, or it is not, it is as per law that it is not, you should not enter into an agreement, so it becomes a void agreement. Possibility of performance, like how we said earlier. For example, A agrees to prove that two parallel lines can meet if B pays in rupees 10,000. Such an agreement is incapable of being carried out itself. This is something which is, it cannot be called as a contract because it is just orally something, and there is no legality nor there is any consideration. Of course, there is a consideration of rupees 10,000. So again, I repeat, A agrees to prove that two parallel lines can meet if B pays him rupees 10,000. Tell me, is there a possibility of performance? There is no possibility. Such contracts are not valid contracts. And finally, it is legal formalities. All the essential elements of a contract should be carried out. If it is not there, then it does not come as a valid contract. Clear till here, shall we move to the different types of contract? I want all of you to just pay quite attention to this. The terms might be the same, but they are a bit different. Now,
Ma'am,
according,
sorry.
yes, ma,
I have a doubt, ma'am. Ma'am, in the valid contract, the list of the valid reasons for the valid contract,
essential
you
elements.
told, you told about like the legal relationship. I didn't understand the intention to create a legal relationship means like what type of legal relationship do you mean?
See, it should be something which is like if it should not be something which is social or domestic. For example, A agrees to attend B's birthday party, but he is not able to attend the party. This is something which is personal. There should be something legally attached to it. It should either be business or a commercial agreement. Only then it is called that there should be some legal relationship between the parties. Is
Okay,
that
ma'am. Thank you. Yeah.
now? Shall we move to the different types of contracts?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, we can classify the contract in three different heads according to their enforceability, according to their formation, and according to their performance. We will do only with this according to enforceability today. According to that, we again have six types of contracts. The first one is a void agreement. Now, an agreement is an offer and an acceptance. So, agreement is it becomes void when initially itself when I enter into the agreement at the beginning itself the agreement or is unenforceable. For example, an agreement with a minor. As per law itself, it is that I cannot enter into an agreement with a minor. So I would not, it is called as a void agreement. A person who is of unsound mind, who is not capable of deciding or coming or taking actions on an agreement. Even that agreement, if I enter into an agreement with a person of unsound mind, even that would be a void agreement. Another example would be uh, an agreement which does not have any consideration because there should be some consideration attached. It is not compulsorily, but as per law, there should be some return benefit, like either not only in monetary terms, it might be in other terms as well. So, if these terms are absent, then the agreement becomes a void agreement. So, if it is with a minor, if it is with a person of unsound mind, or the consideration amount is not specific, in all these cases, from the time that I enter into the agreement itself, it is void or it is invalid. Are you clear with what is a void agreement? The offer and acceptance from beginning itself is incorrect, then it becomes a void agreement. Now, void contract, on the other hand, is a contract which, at the time of entering, is enforceable like law, but when it happens or when it ceases, when I'm about to take an action, it becomes unenforceable. I'll repeat. While I make the contract, I know that I will be able to perform it. But while executing it, due to some unavoidable circumstances, I am not able to perform the contract. In that case, it becomes a void contract. I'll give you an example for this. For me, for example, N enters into a contract with N, who is in a foreign country, who promises that there is an agreement that he would export the goods to N. Now, at the time of transit, while entering the contract, there was, of course, it is that possible that the contract is valid. At the transit, if the ship catches fire, in that case, the goods do not reach N. So the contract becomes void. So at the time of making the agreement, it is possible that yes, this contract it is a valid contract. But while executing, due to some unavoidable circumstances, there are some mishappenings which would happen because of which the contract is not completed. Such contracts are called void contract. So, are you able to differentiate between void agreement and void contract? Void agreement is at the time of entering itself, as per law, it is not agreeable. That's why it becomes a void agreement. I know pre-handedly itself that it is a invalid agreement. So that is what void agreement. A void contract is at the time of entering into the contract. I know that it is possible while executing due to unavoidable circumstances or due to some happening that I am not able to execute the contract. So that becomes a void contract. Are these both clear? Void agreement and void contract? Yes, students.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now third, we move to what is a voidable contract. A voidable contract is something where an agreement is enforceable by law by the option of both the parties, but at the option, like if I force someone to enter into an agreement at a knife point, or due to some threat that he's got to enter, such contracts are known as voidable contract.
Ma'am,
I'll give you an example for this as well. Wait, let me finish this with voidable contract. Now, X at a knife point threatens Y to enter into an agreement or sign an agreement, and he signs it also for the sale of his father's deed. So, such agreement, firstly, it is as per his will that he is signed. So, in that case, it becomes a valid contract. But he can sue them later, telling that due to a force or due to coercion or due to threatening him at knife point, that he was forced, and this contract becomes a, he has to prove it, and after which only it becomes a voidable contract. So I'll repeat, void agreement is at the time of entering into the agreement itself that the agreement is invalid. For example, agreement with a minor, unsound void, or there is some consideration which is absent. Void contract is something which, at the time of entering the contract or while making the contract, I know that it is definitely possible, but some mishappenings happen because of which I am not able to enter into the contract or the contract is not completed. Such contracts are void. And voidable contracts are something wherein I definitely do a contract as per my wish, but this is due to some threatening, coercion, or forcing me to enter into a contract, which can be revoked later. Clear with all these three? Now tell me, yes, what doubts you have? Oh, why do they open it wide and just leave it? Huh? Hello?
yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Yeah, all these three are clear. I want you to go through this, take your time, and just understand what are all these three: avoid agreement, avoid contract, and avoidable contract.
Ma'am,
Yes, ma'am.
ma'am, voidable contract means after entering into the contract, it might be void, ma'am.
Yeah, yeah. After I enter into the contract, while in the first stage, yes, it is enforceable by law. Only then, due to some circumstances, it is that it is not carried on.
Okay, ma'am.
Ma'am, if suppose like A agrees to a contract with B and suppose B dies or something, then it will be called a voidable contract, is or is it a void contract? Like
Just give
once
me
B dies,
one moment. Sorry, tell me again, ma.
yeah. So if A and B, two parties, agree to a contract
Hmm.
and they're selling something or the other, and B dies of some natural cause, and then what will happen? Like, will it be called a void contract or is it called a voidable contract?
See, what is the nature of it? Is it with a company? It depends on with
Suppose like
whom.
A is selling something to B and they enter into agreement
Now, these are
and
both individuals. Okay.
okay.
Now, what is the both of them are agree? They have agreed to. In case B dies, what will happen to the contract? It again becomes a void contract.
So how will it become a voidable contract like like in a given situation? Suppose
How does it become a?
like can you explain with an example like voidable? I couldn't get the proper difference between the both like
Okay,
void
I'll
contract and
repeat it.
voidable contract.
I'll repeat it now. See, void agreement you are very clear with at this initial stages itself. It is that you know that the agreement is not enforceable by law, so it becomes a void agreement. A void contract is one which is enforceable by law, becomes void when it ceases to be enforceable. Now, in this case which you have given, if the goods are already given or supplied to B, after receiving the goods, if B dies, then it is a valid contract because the goods are already received by him. So, whoever is the person after him who is in charge, he is responsible for making in a payment. And a voidable contract is one wherein voidable contract, just take into consideration, it is only by force or threatening or coercion that a person enters into a contract. So now at least are you able to differentiate between a void contract and a voidable contract?
Yes.
Clear? Okay. So it depends in circumstances. Now in case of a company, it does not become a void contract. If in case of an individual, if the goods are already delivered to B, then the contract does not become invalid. It is it's a valid contract. Shall we move to the fourth one, or you want some more time to go through all these three?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I will continue. Okay. Next, coming to an unlawful agreement. Now, this is one which is not approved by law on some ground of public policy. So, such an agreement is void from the, again, this is first we did with void agreement. It is more or less, and this is unlawful. There are certain laws which are made. For example, an agreement is restraint of marriage. That is an agreement that restricts a person's right to choose his after a certain age only. It is that you can marry. There is a law which is made. If you do something against that law, then that becomes an unlawful. If you want to choose an occupation which you practice, which is of something which is forbidden by law, even that becomes an unlawful agreement. So, any agreement that is not approved by law on some ground of public policy, that is known as an unlawful agreement. Now, what is illegal agreement? Illegal agreements are, it includes those activities of the parties which involves, for example, I hire someone to kill another person. In that case, it is a commission of a crime, violate public policy, for going in for strikes, etc., or immoral, something which is immoral in nature, etc. Giving a bribe to an official for a favor, this is illegal activity. Letting out a house property for some other illegal purposes or some other activities which is forbidden by law. These are also like these illegal agreement are illegal activities which are carried on. And unlawful agreement are as per law it is forbidden and you carry on those work or carry on those activities. That is unlawful agreement. Are you clear with all the five types? Void agreement, void contract, voidable contract, unlawful agreement, and illegal agreement. Only if you go through each examples would it be easy for you. And the last one is unenforceable contract. Unenforceable contract is when I enter into a contract, there is some element in the contract which is not present. For example, there might not be a date which is mentioned, or there are certain terms and conditions which are not properly mentioned, or till when the contract is valid, or it can be that the written consent or his or her signature itself is not there, or it is not there on the stamp duty. So there is some element in the contract which is missing, because of which the contract becomes unenforceable. Clear with all the six types, students? Just go through it once again. Let me know if you still have a doubt. I'll again repeat, unlawful agreement is, for example, an agreement in restraint of marriage or in restraint of trade. These are all unlawful agreement. As per law, it is forbidden from the very beginning itself. Illegal agreements are those, for example, giving a bribe, giving your house for some illegal purposes, or you appoint someone to kill someone. Such activities which you carry on are illegal. These are illegal
Ma'am,
agreements. Yes, ma'am.
ma'am, is this same like void contract and voidable contract?
It is somewhat same like voidable contract and see void contract also from initial stage, like from beginning or from the starting itself, that it is not a contract itself. Same is with unlawful agreement. From the initial stage, you know that the law is made accordingly, and still you go beyond that, then it becomes an unlawful agreement.
Ma'am, then what is the difference between unlawful agreement and illegal agreement, ma'am?
See, unlawful is there is a law which is made in, and you go against the law. Here, there are certain activities which are forbidden. For example, giving a bribe. Bribe is something which is not acceptable. Letting out one's property, this is which is not acceptable. So, the nature, how does it violates the basic public policy itself? That is why it is known as illegal. The activities which you carry on.
So,
Here, under illegal, we specifically refer to the business activities or commercial activities which are carried on. See, with the examples itself, you would be able to make it out. There is an agreement in restraint of marriage, agreement in restraint of trade. All these are not allowed as per law, so they are unlawful. Illegal is the activities which you do. You know that again these are forbidden by law, but you still carry on. For example, commission of a crime, giving a bribe, some moral, immoral say state, which is something which is immoral in nature. Or by court of law, it is not enforced. Such activities are also known as illegal activities.
ma'am, so void contract is something which is from the starting. It does not
Hmm?
like it's not void contract is something which is not from the starting. It's not a contract. Voidable contract is after a point it can become void, and
Exactly.
an unforceable contract would be something that we made the contract, but it's not actually enforceable by law.
Because there are certain elements in the contract which are absent. For example, the signatures are missing in the contract. The date is not mentioned. Till when the contract is valid, there are something which is missing in the contract because of which it is unenforced. It is
Okay,
incomplete.
okay, ma'am.
Anyone else? We'll stop with this or we'll start, we'll do complete the other six also. No answer. So we'll complete with all the six. But Naman is such a hurry. But first, see that you are understood all these six types of contracts. Of course, at least with an example. This time, when I give you an assignment, I will ask you only to write down these six types of classification of contracts only according to enforceability. Okay. Now, anything else that you would like to know, students? We'll stop the class here today.